Hello, Kehlani.
Hi.
What is your Starbucks drink? Only because you came in here with Starbies, as I like to call it.
It's so simple. It's just iced vanilla latte. I think I used to do the most, and now I just cannot for the life of me remember. And I'm trying to actively eat less sugar. So this is about as crazy as I can.
Isn't that the hardest thing to do? Like people are they're always like, sugar's a drug, sugar's a drug.
I literally gave up desserts, and I was such a dessert person. I don't know. I was the person that was always at dinner, like, can I get the dessert menu? And now I have to actively be like, let me just end it here and take myself home. Because
it takes a lot of willpower.
It's hard. I used to be like the brownie cookie king.
Jealous. I'm always so full that I can't even do dessert. And then I'm always regretting it by the time I get home.
I just be wanting something.
I know. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm grateful. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy the project's out.
Yes.
Happy.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Obviously. Probably a weird question, but I was watching the 24 hours you did with Vogue. Do you live in a treehouse?
Yeah, I live in a cabin in a forest area that also has a treehouse on the property.
Oh, okay.
There is a tree that goes over and kind of through the house, so it kind of feels like a tree house, so we call it the tree house.
Okay.
But it's not like the house is built into the tree, which I think people thought that's what I meant when I said I lived in a tree house.
That's totally what I thought you meant. And then I go and watch the video and I'm looking at your window and it's just like branches and leaves. I was like, oh my God, she is literally in a tree. And so I'm trying to
we call it the tree house. I literally walk onto my balcony and I could
but you're not climbing a ladder to get
if I want to. Yeah, no.
Okay, that's what I thought.
One of those. My daughter does have a tree house on the property.
No way.
Yeah.
That is goals. Oh my God, what kid doesn't want
She's
that?
living her best baby life.
She is so freaking cute, by the way. How do you even handle that? How do you handle her?
I just die
plus everything you're doing.
I just die all the time. She blows my mind almost every day with something that I can't figure out where she learned it. And I'm literally just I have actual voice notes of us laying in bed and her being like, I want to talk about the universe. And I'm like,
oh, how old is she?
She's 3.
What?
And I know she picked it up from a conversation or
that's
maybe
deep.
a show, but she just keeps going. She's like, and the stars and there's strawberries in the sky and just all this super imaginative. I'm like, you're insane.
That's amazing. Well, she's going to be super creative with a mind like that.
Already. She's always telling me a story that didn't happen. And she's like, yeah, no, because when I woke up, this is what I saw. And I'm like, I bet you did. That is exactly what
whatever you say, that's what happened. Okay, so you had an album signing in Berkeley. How was that? What's funny is on Friday, one of our listeners that actually calls in, and it was her and her son, we're going to go buy the album this weekend, a physical copy. We're going to go get it signed. We cannot wait. So how was that, meeting? Well, I'm sure you've met Bay Area fans before, but doing it again, after a new album drop.
It was cool because it really just felt kind of it didn't feel new. It just felt just kind of like a reunion. I did a signing at that same Amoeba when my first, project dropped. And I think my second project, this is my 6th project. So this was on some celebratory, we're going to come throw it back for y'all. We're going to come, do the same thing we did, 6-7 years ago.
That
just
so
on some
cool.
Celebratory, it really wasn't to flex or to be I'm gonna do this and this. It was really for the fans so that they could realize we haven't lost our touch. I haven't lost my touch with people. I still want to come connect with you guys, especially on a street where I worked 2 regular jobs on that street. You know what I'm saying? I used to come up there every single day when I went to Berkeley High. It's a staple Amoebas for me. I stood in line to meet Kendrick Lamar and get my Kendrick Lamar album signed.
That's so crazy.
At that same Amoeba when I was in high school.
Full circle like that.
Yeah, so it was a blast, honestly.
We need to know, what were the other jobs that you worked?
Oh man, I worked at Hot Topic.
Okay, that used to be my Can we cuss in these interviews? That was my shit.
Yeah, I worked at the Hot Topic next to Chic, and then I worked at Cream.
Oh my God!
I worked at Cream when it first opened, and I sold weed at People's Park. But that's none of it.
I mean, it's kind of a job, but I don't think we just admit that.
Gotta love it.
It's legal now.
Tale.
It's
yeah,
legal.
God
Who
bless.
cares? Who cares? I used to work at a tanning salon. I had to wipe people's butt sweat off the beds. It was so nasty.
I respect people who like work in those fields where you got to deal with like bodily fluids because I cannot. Like
nasty.
Waxers, I can't.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like there's fluids, and I feel like people don't always have the decency to like come as clean as they should, and I feel like you got some unpredictable situations. I like predictable things. The worst thing that could come at Hot Topic is like somebody comes in there like extremely hardcore, and like I'm not hardcore enough. I didn't know how to answer questions about like rock music and certain stuff like that, and I'd be like, bro, I'm just selling t-shirts, like engages, like I don't have the answers for you, but like nobody came in asking me to like, you know,
look at their stuff. All right, so Blue Water Road is out. What is the feeling after an album drop? Are you nervous as to what the feedback is going to be, or do you just not care? Like, this is your baby, like you're proud regardless.
I think I'm like, almost knocked out the Starbucks. I think I'm like past the point where I'm like, oh my God, I just need people to like it. And what I need people to do is to understand that I'm doing what I want. You know what I mean? I'm at that point where like, all I want is for people to go like, damn, they're doing exactly what, you know, they wanted to do. Like I'm past the point of like this, I need to impress, or like, I need to really like fit some type of mold thing. I'm just like making stuff that I love, and my favorite feedback that I've got is that I seem really at peace, and that they can hear it in the music, and they can hear what they've been seeing from me in my regular life in the music, and that it's all cohesive with just like peace and happiness and joy and
absolutely,
like, you know, maturity, and you know.
I feel like when an artist gets to this point, you've reached like peak artistry.
Yeah,
because that's all it comes down to is the art. You know what I mean? Do you have a favorite track on the album?
Right now, Melt is my favorite song for sure. I think it's a really special song to me, and I feel like on some like, you know, artistic like lyrical stuff, I think the lyrics are really cool. So
no, it is. I like that one. I really like Any Given Sunday.
Thank you.
That's like my favorite right now at the moment. You were talking about, because of course I had to go back and watch your road trip. Your Blue Water Road Trip, which by the way, what a cool name.
Thank you.
And you were really getting into Little Story and what that song means to you and who it's about. Is it scary at all being so, I guess, vulnerable and really writing about real life experiences? Because not a lot of artists do that, you know?
I feel like I just don't, I'm just not easily embarrassed these days. I mean, I guess I was never really easily embarrassed because I've always been this open, but I'm just not really like afraid of things like that. I'm more afraid of like people misunderstanding me, or people like actually not being able to feel me, or like not being able to convey. The worst thing for me would be people hearing an album and not connecting to it, or not connecting to me, and not feeling like I was vulnerable, or feeling like I just made a bunch of songs because they were going to be hits, or they were going to sound cool, or like they were fitting the mold of like where music was going. That's scarier to me than the idea of like being vulnerable and like bearing my heart, because that will connect with people forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. I will never regret that. I will never regret having given all of my feelings into something that's what art is for. You know, so at the end of the day, I'm just being like, right. I'm just being myself. It's not scary.
And that's all the fans want. That's all we want. When you do have a song that's about a specific person, do you run it by them first?
No, but I do tell them. I only tell them if it's obvious, because then they have to, you know, potentially deal with, it's just respect. Like if I say someone's name in a song, I'm like, look, I said your name in a song. Like, I don't want you to hop on Twitter one day and it just be a bunch of explosive stuff. Like, I'm not gonna
just heads up.
You know, heads up.
Yeah.
And I'm not distasteful, and I'm never really like bashing people. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, there's some flattery coming your way. Like, just know, loved you.
Is part 3 out yet?
Of the road trip?
Yeah.
No. When is that coming?
Okay.
Next week? The 5th? On the 5th.
Okay, so in a few days here. I was looking for, I was like, I know I ain't blind. Like, where is it at?
It's coming on the 5th. Okay. The last one. It's all of our favorites. So I'm excited for everybody to get into it.
Awesome. So as I'm watching the docuseries, it was giving me like reality TV vibes. Would you ever consider doing something like that? Like having a reality show? Because personally, I think between you and like all the people that you roll with, like, I'm here for it. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'd be scared actually then because I'm a lot more chaotic than we show. On
That's
on
good.
These are very carefully tailored for me to, to not be as chaotic. But if you saw everything, it'd be a little bit of chaos. As long as it was done tastefully and it always brought it back to the music, I think that's the problem with me in reality shows is like you kind of forget what the person actually does in like real life because it tends to become about like all the other parts of them. And
you're right.
Although I do appreciate people being fans of me because of who I am, like what I actually do is more important to me. So I never want to like blur that line and people think I'm just like a figure and not a musician.
Yeah,
because I really care about my music. So
right, a lot of people will do the reality show and then they kind of take on that title of reality star.
I'm like, I can't name a song anymore. I don't even remember the music.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
remember that one time you got into it. What's her face? And it was like a thing, and then
there's a drink thrown, and that was it.
That's all I care about now. Damn.
Do you watch reality TV? Like, what does Kehlani watch?
So much. I watch horrible TV and outstanding films. Like, there's literally no in between. Like, really bad television and like really.
What is really bad television?
Man, I've probably watched everything on the Zeus network.
That's really bad.
Literally watched all of Jocelyn's Cabaret. Hate to say it, and all those dumb shows. I watch all those new Netflix, like The Ultimatum and like, Love is Blind, like Too Hot to Handle. Like, you know what it is because I don't feel like I experience a lot of like drama per se in like actual drama in my personal life. Like my personal life is like pretty calm. And when I said I was chaotic, I didn't mean it in a drama way. I just mean like I move really fast. Like I'm always like doing 1,000 things and there's so much going on. But I feel like it's like a social experiment. Like, that's about all the juice I get to experience because I'm just on watching TV. Something else. Because other than that, like, I'm living my life,
But that's good. You don't want that kind of chaos.
No,
all that.
No parts.
You want to? Everyone loves to watch a train wreck on TV. I'm hooked. But do I want to live it? No.
Exactly. So y'all keep that over there on the screen, and I will stay over here on my couch.
Okay, so I threw out on my Instagram, letting people know that I was going to be hanging out with you. And of course, the questions started rolling in.
There we go.
They're not bad, I promise.
Okay, I'm scared.
Aside from everyone just asking if you'll marry them.
Okay.
Love
that.
Not even a question. They were like, just tell her I want to marry her. We have one from Jakusa93 says, what's your favorite spot to eat in the Bay?
Ooh, Burma Superstar on Telegraph in Oakland. Bomb. So good. Every single time I go, literally, they know me. They're like...
That is so cool.
And I don't even think they even know me because I'm me. They know me because I'm there all the time.
Just
like,
a regular.
Every time I come home, they're like, we know what you want. They bring the tea out. We're going to bring the rice. We're going to bring the... We're doing all the things. And my friend also works there. So, hands down, Burma Superstar. I also grew up like 5 blocks to the left of it. So.
That's so cool. Is it kind of crazy coming back home and you're going to all these places? You're just doing regular things. Like, do people start to be like, oh, my God... Kehlani's in here.
People do ask me what I'm doing in certain places all the time, and I'm like, the same thing you're doing. You know what I mean? I'm at the restaurant because I want to eat, just like you at the restaurant.
You're like, I'm starving. What's it look like?
But honestly, I will say being home is almost more chill than other places because people know I'm gonna come home and like see my family and hang and stuff like that. So it's actually not too crazy. Like people like. Hey, it's nice to see you home. Like, enjoy it. They'll walk past me like, oh, my God, it's crazy. Okay, have a good day.
Especially if you're out with your daughter. Like, I feel like people acting crazy is the last thing.
Oh, man. They freak out over her more than me.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you, like, she's too cute.
She'll be somewhere with her dad or, like, my mom, and then people will be like, is that Kehlani's daughter? Is that Adea? And I'm like, oh, girl, you're famous. Shoot. We didn't even think about that.
I don't know if I can say this Instagram name. I feel like it's a bad word. Pinche Kishi. I probably can't say that, but they asked, how has being a mother influenced your music career? No, I'm sorry. We'll just go with that question. How has being a mother influenced your music career?
It definitely makes you just realize what's important and what isn't. I think you kind of think that you kind of like prioritize things differently. I mean, not even kind of like you completely prioritize things differently when you're a parent and you start shaping everything around your motherhood. And I think that was really the key for me was realizing like not only like I have to say no to certain things now and like what I say yes to is different things. And I'm shaping it around the experience I want her to have and remember because I don't want her to grow up and be like, yeah, my mom was always on the road doing blah, blah, blah. And I want her to be able to be like...
Do you take her with you when you do
as many
travel?
places as I can. I mean, right now she's 3, and like putting a 3-year-old on a plane for 6 hours is like in COVID is like, you know, not necessarily conducive for her. But as many places as I can that like, she's at the age where she's telling me, Mommy, I want to go to work with you. Like, Mommy, I want to go with you today. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, so I take her as many places as possible. So as long as she can hang and she's having a good time, I just pay attention to if I'm having her there for selfish reasons, because I want her to be there. If she's not having fun or she's not doing anything progressive or like it's not a good environment for kids, and I won't have her there.
You're a better mom than me. So I'll be like, I don't have a sitter. You're coming whether you like it or not. Sit in the corner and draw me a picture.
That's different. You know, I feel like I can't deny that there's privilege and there's access. It's a different thing. Like, I do have a sitter. I do have a nanny on call. I do have friends around me that are all Adea's aunts and uncles at this point, like several of them that will pull up wherever and help me out. So it is different. I definitely like will never compare my motherhood to anybody else's who doesn't have the same, you know, access and opportunity as me. My mom was the same way. Like, single mom, 3 kids, didn't have any help at all, didn't have co-parents, didn't have a village. Like, I consider her a better mother than me.
You have an amazing support system. I will say that. And I
have gang.
I saw a little bit of that in the docuseries, and it was so, I'll just say, as a mom, like, and as someone who, you know, follows a lot of what celebs do, I don't know exactly what they do and how they parent, but you can only imagine, you know, there are some that might have like 20 nannies and don't have to wake up at night.
That's excessive.
But I'm sure it happens. So it was just really refreshing to see that you are just so hands-on.
Oh man, with her. That's my little best friend.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
your little broke best friend.
That's my little broke best friend. Even though I'm not gonna lie, she might start making some money soon. So,
you got some little things lined up.
I always got some little things. That's my executive producer. That's my everything. So
yeah, you should just start adding her name to like everything.
I do. I secretly do. I really do.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Hella smart.
Just all you gotta do is throw the name on there.
Nice. All right, so I'm gonna let you go. I know you got little starbies to finish here, and I'm sure you're busy. You know, you got more signings and things.
But thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, it was so nice to have you, and always a good time to see you.
Nice to see you.